is hot. 6 for his last 8. 4 for 4 on Wednesday night, including a 3-run home run. But it was Howie Kendrick's bloop to right that scored Puig and gave the Dodgers their 5th walk-off win of the year and improved their home record to 25-10. But now they hit the road for 5 games and 9 of their next 14. They begin their journey tonight in San Diego and put their best foot, or at least their best arm, forward.
It's a beautiful night for baseball. And live from Petco Park in San Diego, Sportsnet LA presents the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres in the first of a 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. Charlie Steiner, Oral Hershiser, and Nomar Garciaparra. So now the Dodgers hit the road. Clayton Kershaw makes his 13th start. Oral, in his last 3 starts, he's merely 3-0, a .82 ERA, 2 earned runs, 10 hits, 28 strikeouts, 3 walks. What's the difference between Kershaw at the beginning of the year, where he was struggling certainly by Kershaw standards, and what he's doing now?
Yeah, he is on a roll, and I think I've always said that Clayton Kershaw is 2 pitchers in one body. He's the fastball slider pitcher, and he's the fastball curveball pitcher. But the public enemy #1 curveball really dropped off the 10 most wanted list. He wasn't using it enough. More fastballs were being used, sliders are being used, but now public enemy #1 is back on the loose. He's got the curveball usage up. The hitters are fooled, they're mystified, and now he is 2 pitchers again in one.
Meanwhile, the Dodgers, of course, swept the Diamondbacks back in Los Angeles. Howie Kendrick returned to the lineup after missing 4 games, and Yasiel Puig, as mentioned, is all the way back.
Yeah, and they needed Howie Kendrick back in the lineup. Definitely solidifies the middle of that lineup, hitting behind Adrian Gonzalez. And over the series, all he did over the last 3 games is he had 5 RBIs, a home run, and hit over 450, and driving the ball the other way, which I like to see so much. But we know that Dodger offense was in a lull prior to that series, and they needed a spark. Well, in comes Yasiel Puig. We know he's a high-energy guy. Over his last 4 games, all he hit is near a 600. The Dodgers are going to continue needing that hot bat, and they're going to continue needing that energy that Yasiel brings to this lineup.
And the great left arm of Clayton Kershaw on display tonight, making his 13th start in search of his 6th win of the year. The Dodgers and Padres lineups coming up next.
South to San Diego. They've beaten the Padres 6 out of 9 this season, beginning a 3-game trip to San Diego and then 2 games off to Texas, and then the Dodgers are back next Wednesday night at Dodger Stadium. Our game tonight, the closed captioning, is brought to you by Shumash Casino Resort, where we are all about you. Well, the Dodgers and the Padres getting ready to play. Since Don Mattingly took over as manager of the Dodgers back in 2011, he has really enjoyed coming down to Petco Park, where the Dodgers are 25-15. As play begins tonight in the National League West, the Dodgers lead the Giants by a game and a half. San Diego 5 back. The Padres coming off a 4-3 road trip, winners of 6 of their last 10. Arizona and Colorado are 7.5 games off the pace. And here's the lineup that Don Mattingly's put together for tonight. Beginning with Jock Peterson in center field and Yasiel Puig. He's been hot in right. Adrian Gonzalez hitting but .250 over the past month, batting third at first base, and Howie Kendrick among the league leaders with 21 multi-hit games. Justin Turner back in the lineup after his wounded knee. Andre Ethier historically has enjoyed playing the Padres. Jimmy Rollins at short. A.J. Ellis behind the plate. Clayton Kershaw pitching and batting ninth. And Despaigne, the 28-year-old right-hander, making his 9th start for the Padres, who are about ready to take the field.
Hey, as you mentioned, Charlie, with Despaigne, in his eight starts, he's really all or nothing. I mean, he's had really 5 good starts, and in those 5 good starts, he's had an ERA at about 1.6. In his 3 bad starts, his ERA has been over 12. So he's going to come at you with 4 different pitches, predominantly a fastball cutter. Over 70% of his pitches are either his fastball or his cutter. He features a curveball and his changeup. And look for him to change his arm angle slightly on that fastball to try to get different movements on that fastball.
And he's going against our lineup, that's starting to kind of round into shape. Now that Yasiel Puig has gotten healthy, Jock Peterson, Yasiel Puig, Adrian Gonzalez, and Howie Kendrick look like they're going to be the top 4. And our number 5 hitter's looking like it's going to be Yasmani Grandal, because Grandal not catching Kershaw tonight, so he's not in that 5-hole Justin Turner. But we're starting to see maybe the possibility that the Dodgers, as much juggling as they've done early in the year because of injuries, might be starting to settle into a consistent lineup.
Well, that'll be nice. It's based on 2 factors. One, the injury factor, and hopefully the production as well.
So there's Despaigne, 28, a record 3-4 and a 4.72 ERA. And you talk to the Padre people, as Despaigne goes, so goes his fastball, and the other way around.
And he reminds me a little bit of El Duque, somebody that can change arm angles on you and do the different things that Nomar mentioned. And the Dodgers, I think, will have a pretty good night against him if they can just make him throw strike, keep him in the strike zone, don't chase all the things that he's going to wander towards the corners.
Over the course of the season, the Dodgers have fared better against right-handed starters than lefties. 31-19 against right-handed starters. Dodgers have hit 79 home runs this year, 69 against right-handed pitchers. So here comes the first game of the first of this 3-game series. Despaigne to Peterson, who takes high and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Jock at 249, 3rd in the league in home runs with 17, 3rd in the league with 39 walks, 2nd in the league with 29 strikeouts, and a 377 on base percentage, and he takes outside. 2 balls and no strikes, 67 degrees, cloudy skies. Puig and Gonzalez to follow. You see the shift. Melvin Upton Jr., the artist formerly known as BJ, in center field. Here's a call strike. 2-1 to Peterson.
Despaign's already gone from a 66-mile-an-hour curveball the pitch before to that fastball at 91. One of the largest changing of speeds that you'll see in the big leagues.
Breaking ball with not a whole lot to it. It's 3-1.
67, like the degrees on the temperature for the game, Charlie. He's matching the temperature.
A little humid down here, uncharacteristically. Here's a 3-1. Peterson fouls it.
Looked like he was just trying to barely put that one in play, didn't it?
It's that 2-strike approach that Jock is working on. That was a funny story the other night. Last night we had a little charity event at Dodger Stadium. Helped the Dodger Foundation, and Andre Ethier told a cute story about
Sitting next to Mark McGuire on the bench watching Jock hit in a 2-strike count, took a huge swing, and he said, "I'm out of the lineup." He goes, "Why?" I got hurt just watching him swing.
Rolls it foul.
Yeah, Jock isn't one of those that ever get cheated. Doesn't matter what the count is. He's going to swing hard.
Come up with 17 home runs and 33 runs batted in. Not your prototypical leadoff hitter. Nor is Will Myers, the Padre leadoff hitter. Well, Peterson walks for the 40th time this year. Defensively behind Espana tonight, Derek Norris is going to be catching. Around the infield, Will Middlebrooks, Clint Barnes, Hervis Solarte, Will Myers back off the DL. The Upton brothers in left and center, and Matthew Ryan Kemp is in right. So here's Puig. When he hits on the first pitch, in his career, .443 with 15 home runs. And he takes outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
I've detected a little bit more seriousness with Yasiel Puig since he came back from the DL with the hamstring issue. Just seems like there's more of a purpose. The facial expressions to me seem like that every pitch matters. Doesn't seem to be as much body language that does not have a purpose.
He went around. 1 ball and 1 strike. Can't help but wonder, and it's psychobabble perhaps. But here's a guy who really had never been on a disabled list for any appreciable time before. Then he suffers the hamstring injury. And a case of baseball mortality may have kicked in. Adrian Gonzalez on deck. Kind of faked a couple of steps toward second base and returns.
Nomar, you were the young offensive star like Yasiel Puig, and then there were other guys that came along where maybe the light is not completely on you anymore, and you notice that now it's maybe a little bit more of a team game. I know you didn't have an attitude like that, but do you think there's anything of that where he watched Jacques, start to get some of the spotlight?
Well, I think it depends on how you're hitting around that individual. It could actually make you better. And your numbers are going to change.
Puig down on strikes.
We talked about it. We were trying to see, okay, is Espana throwing strikes? And he threw that fastball, and you can even see it on strike zone. On the K zone there. It was there. It was definitely a strike over the plate. It actually missed his spot. They were looking for a ball on the outer half, and that went kind of middle in. And I wonder if he got fooled because there was a little spin on that ball. It wasn't really like behind four-seamer type fastball, so I was wondering if he was anticipating a bigger break on that pitch.
Now Adrian Gonzalez takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
See if Jock, we saw Jock kind of bluff over there with Yasiel. He was trying to see if he can get a good read and a good jump, but with Adrian on there, let's see if he's thinking about stealing or just staying put, knowing he has the power to hit out of the ballpark.
Teams have run on the Padres this year. Gonzalez swings and misses, and it's 0-2.
With all the shifting goes on nowadays, and Adrian Gonzalez has the shift against him here with the Padres, it changes the running game, because a lot of times in this situation you would say, Jock, don't run, we want to leave the hole for Adrian. But because there's so much shifting now, it actually opens up the running game, because that side of the infield is taken up by fielders, so maybe you steal.
And right there, he was thinking right there. He kind of twitched, thinking if he can get kind of his momentum going, kind of that, not like necessarily called a running start, but you're just kind of leaning, seeing if you can time the pitcher and kind of get cheating a little bit to get your momentum going to second.
Peterson, of course, a 30-30 man last year in the PCL, has but 2 stolen bases this year. One ball and 2 strikes. The Dodgers have stolen the fewest bases in the National League this year, just 14. And they've been caught 15 times. Derek Norris has allowed 42 stolen bases this year. There goes Peterson, and a foul tip. Peterson returns. Derek Norris has surrendered 42 stolen bases. He's thrown out 19. So they run a lot on the Padres.
And there are different ways to steal bases. You steal them off the pitcher. You can steal them off the catcher if he's a slow. And most of the decline in the Dodgers' stolen bases, of course, is from the exodus of D. Gordon. Jock is definitely capable of stealing bags, and it's part of his game that if his body stays frisky and he doesn't get banged up too much, keeps that speed, he's going to definitely grow in that area.
With the shift on, another toss to first base, and Peterson is back standing up. Howie Kendrick on deck. Giants are hosting the Diamondbacks in San Francisco. Dodgers a game and a half in front of the Giants. There goes Peterson again. Pitches low. Throw to second base. Out at second base. So Peterson has been cut down for the 5th time in 7 tries. And Derek Norris gets his man.
Well, it wasn't the best jump as compared to the other one. Compared to the time before when Adrian Gonzalez actually fouled off that 1 and 2 pitch, Jock got a really good jump. This one was just a perfect throw to get him out.
He was using that creeping walking lead, but Espana went quick to the plate, so he didn't get that last half a step before he was out there where he wanted to be. It's a nice tactic as a pitcher when you see the guys trying to get the walking lead on you. You're instructed to make the runner stop. Well, if you go early, though, they're leaving from a place where it's too long to get to second base. So you can have 2 strategies. Make them stop, actually wait, or go quicker.
Here's the 8th pitch of the at-bat. There'll be a 9th. Last year, the Dodgers were 12-7 against the Padres. 7-3 at Dodger Stadium, 5-4 down here. This year, 6-3, 4-2 at Dodger Stadium, and 2-1 here at Petco Park. Three and 2.
That's a good take by Adrian. That's the type of pitch that we're talking about with Espana. As he gets to the 2-strike count, he likes to start expanding the strike zone. He makes a lot of pitchers' pitches in pitchers' counts. He doesn't really attack and stay aggressive and worry about his pitch count.
21st pitch of the inning. The 10th to Gonzalez. And he chops it slowly to the shortstop Barmes on the first base side of second. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Clayton Kershaw getting ready for his 13th start of the year in search of his 6th win of the season. Season as the manager of the San Diego Padres, and his team coming into the play tonight. 31 up, 31 down, trailing the Dodgers by 5, and here's his lineup. Will Myers fresh off the DL, and Derek Norris having a solid season, batting second. Justin Upton and Matt Kemp. On Hervis Solarte at third base, Will Middlebrooks, Elvin Upton Jr., Clint Farmas, and Dismer Despaigne. Facing Clayton Kershaw.
Well, the great Clayton Kershaw, and again, right now is really great. On a roll. Uncle Charles, Sir Charles, the Hammer, the public enemy #1, has really gone up in usage and has helped him tremendously. The whole right-handed hitting lineup against him tonight. If he can get locked in, there's no lefties to kind of change him to one side of the plate or the other, or to change pitch selections. I loved facing lineups when you didn't have to really worry about one strategy or another.
Myers to third, second hop for Turner. Well, we're underway. And a look at the Dodger defense now with Justin Turner, who you just saw. Jimmy Rollins, Howie Kendrick, and Adrian Gonzalez in the infield. Ethier, Peterson, and Puig is in right, and A.J. Ellis is back behind the plate catching for Clayton Kershaw. Now Derek Norris. 6 home runs, 37 runs batted in. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. This is the 11th game in which Norris has faced the Dodgers. And he got 3 1/4 in his career against them. Going back to the days in Oakland as well. Kershaw's career record here at Petco Park, a 2.22 ERA, and opposing hitters hitting 194 against him. Missing inside. Now hitters, Omar, you and maybe Cora were talking about it earlier, tend to have favorite ballparks because of any number of reasons. Do pitchers, Oral, have favorite ballparks, and if so, how and why?
Well, I think because of the way the ball carries usually. The bandbox is like, in Boston where Nomar played, and Wrigley Field when the wind's blowing out, or different things like that. But Petco primarily plays as a pitcher's park. Dodger Stadium primarily plays as a pitcher's park. I would not think that Clayton would like to pitch all the time in Arizona or Colorado.
Who would? Norris on 2-2.
The other interesting thing is, for pitchers, even for hitters, different ballparks have different clay in the batter's box and also on the pitcher's mound.
Yep.
And that also affects the way you feel when you step, into the box or when you're pitching. Just, how you're landing, if your foot's slipping, if you got a good grip in the box.
And the thickness of the grass, the blades of the grass, how quick the ball gets through the infield, and how the ground crew is instructed by the manager and the general manager to manicure the grass. What height are they? On Wrigley Field, the one thing they did do every once in a while was left the grass tall when the wind was blowing out. At least give you a chance.
They left it tall all the time.
Yeah. I know, but I just wanted to.
It was tall. It was funny. We used to ask them to cut the grass there from the offensive side. Keep it lower.
Lay down.
Well, we wanted it lower, and then I didn't even. It was good when it was thick as an infielder, defensive, right. But we wanted it lower. They said they couldn't because if they did, it would turn yellow.
Oh.
And that's why they kept it so high.
Paint it.
Style over substance, huh?
Right.
For Clayton Kershaw, his 102nd strikeout of the year, 2 out and nobody on.
Well, it goes up the ladder with the fastball. You see AJ with the target down, but he misses up, but that's okay because he was on the correct half of the plate. Fastball in is what they wanted. The height was secondary as far as a goal. Clayton's mechanics flawless. Pounds it in there.
So now 2 out and nobody on, and Justin Upton coming up. In his first and what could be his last year in San Diego, 290. 9th in the league with 12 home runs, and 9th in the league with 38 runs batted in. A free agent at season's end, and he takes a ball inside and low. 1 ball and no strikes. Matt Kemp is on deck. Ooh. Off Kershaw. There'll be no play. Now let's make sure that Clayton Kershaw's all right.
This is an interesting thing that's happened right here. Him getting hit, first of all, and you're glad that he's okay and he's walking. Nobody coming to the mound yet except for AJ waiting for him. But what people worry about with this, especially getting hit in his lower left back, it looks like, is that as it stiffens up. Because as it stiffens up and a piece of your delivery is now not functioning as well, that stress starts to radiate and go up your body to your arm. And you see Clayton, he's like, let's go.
I don't need no stinking doctor.
This is the easy inning to pitch right now after you get hit. It's the next inning and the one after that.
So after you sit down a little bit.
When the stiffness starts to come in and you really have to work. I've had nights where I've gotten hit that in between innings I actually couldn't sit and rest. I had to walk around to keep the body warm so it wouldn't get stiff.
Right.
But that's a blow because that ball doesn't go back towards home plate, but it goes sideways enough that it got him good.
You know, we saw there he missed his spot. He was looking for that pitch in, and you saw AJ kind of reach over in the outer half, and that's how come up and extended those hands.
Now Matt Kemp takes high.
Well, we know Clayton likes to go in on right-handers, Oral, but he mentioned his last outing where he was so effective against St. Louis, he was able to establish the outer half. Well, when do you start trying to establish that over a course of a game, over a course of a start?
I think he's going to have to show it. That's for sure. You've got to be able to show both sides of the plate.
1 ball, 1 strike to Matt Kemp, hitting a very quiet .249 with 2 home runs and 32 runs batted in. In the final 64 games last year after the break for the Dodgers, Kemp hit .309, 17 home runs, 54 runs batted in. Final 64 games. In the first 60 games this year with the Padres, just .249 and 2 home runs and 32 runs batted. So he's looking to find his stroke in San Diego. But in the 9 games that the Dodgers and Padres have played, he's hitting .364 against his alma mater. 2-1 with 2 out.
Well, the theory was in the offseason for the Padres is they're going to go out and get some power, get some offense. They went and got right-handed pull power, thinking that here at Petco, yes, it's a pitcher's park, but the right-handers that pull the ball have the best chance of leaving here. And that theory is going to start to get evaluated here as we get closer to midway through the season.
3-1.
And then the detractors of that theory after the big right-handed bats were acquired were what kind of defense were they going to have. And that has kind of hurt them as far as the range in the outfield. Will Myers, who has played center field, playing first base today.
So after taking the comebacker, Kershaw walks Kemp. There's 2 out, and Yangervis Solarte coming up.
Well, where Clayton got hit, and this is only speculation, but it's gonna stiffen up. And every time you throw a ball down a hill as a pitcher and giving it as much effort as he is, there's a ballistic stretch to your body of the energy escaping your body. And that area where he got hit is one of the areas that you definitely stretch.
Solarte, a switch hitter at .251. Bites at the biting slider. Kershaw, of course, the Dodgers' opening day pitcher back at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers would win the game. He'd not be around for the conclusion. Dodgers beat San Diego on opening day 6-3. And that's their record against the Padres this year, 6-3. Solarte 0-2 with 2 out. Fastball up and away. 95.
I like that pitch right there. 0-2 going fastball away. It's the pitch that Nomar, you talked about establishing, but it's a good time for him to establish. You know, a lot of guys have to come up and in as their 0-2 pitch. Well, Clayton away is good because where he likes to finish people is in.
The 1-2 is now 2-2.
You know, a guy who works a normal sequence of likes to pitch away, goes away, away, away in 3 pitches. Now it's 1-2, and he thinks, all right, I've got to establish something, and so they come up and in to get the hitter off those pitches away. Well, Clayton likes to come in to set something up, then throw something away.
Kershaw in his last 5 starts against the Padres, 4-0 with an ERA under $1.50. On 2-2. Popped up, short right. Kendrick taking charge, making the play, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 left. No score, and in the second, Kendrick, Turner, and Ethier will come up. Is making his 9th start of the year, but it wasn't necessarily locked in stone, was it?
No, Charlie, it wasn't. In fact, it was supposed to be Brandon Morrow's turn on the hill for the San Diego Padres. He was supposed to be back off of the DL and ready for the start tonight. He was on the disabled list with shoulder soreness, but in his last rehab start, the soreness came back. That's why Despaigne is on the hill for the Padres. As far as Morrow is concerned, nobody knows how long he's going to be down, guys.
So Despaigne will be facing Howie Kendrick, Justin Turner, and Andre Ethier as we go to the second. Kendrick at 294, 6 home runs, 28 runs batted in. His 28th won the game for the Dodgers on Wednesday night against the Diamondbacks. 7-6 walk-off win, the 5th of the year for the Dodgers, and Kendrick has had 2 of those walk-off hits. There's a strike. And it's 0-2.
You know, when I watched Despaigne's windup, or you mentioned it, very similar to El Duque with that leg kick. And
diving stab by Middlebrooks, and Kendrick has been robbed of a double.
I mean, you're so frustrated as a hitter, obviously, from the nice play down there at third base when you square it up. But he does an excellent job staying back on that breaking ball. We talk about the difference between his fastball and breaking ball. And we see Will Middlebrooks come up with a great play as we have a look over here on Carl's cam. No matter what angle you look at it, it's a great play and an out.
So Despaigne says thank you very much, and Justin Turner steps in. Turner fouled one off his knee the other night. He's good to go and takes low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Turner at .310, 5 home runs, 23 runs batted in. He's been a model of consistency all year, and especially in the clutch. In the hole at short, backhanded by Barmes. Myers will tag out the oncoming Turner. There's 2 out. Myers, right fielder, center fielder, and now at first base, Yonder Alonso, who's missed a lot of time on the DL. Myers was out with a bad wrist. The Padres are just trying to figure out what their infield's going to look like down the road. Andre Ethier steps in. Ethier with 8 home runs has doubled all of last year's home run total. And over the course of his career, he has fared well against the Padres. Outside and low, 1 ball and no strikes. Ethier in his career has played 155 games against San Diego, roughly 1 full season. 22 home runs, 85 runs batted in against them. 291 lifetime and a 363 on base percentage.
For playing in this ballpark, Pitcher's Park, those are really good numbers.
The 2-0. He continues his hot hitting against the Padres. So a 2-out single. First hit of the night for the Dodgers.
Nice payment for a young man who spent his evening giving his time to the charity for the LA Dodger Foundation last night and drove his family down. Didn't make the team bus. Drove his family down, the 2 boys and his wife Maggie. Howie Kendrick joined us also, and so did Jock Peterson.
Now Jimmy Rollins steps in. Rollins at 204, 7 home runs and 18 runs batted in. Rollins has a hit in 7 of the 9 games against the Padres this year, including a home run and 4 runs batted in. A.J. Ellis is on deck. Looks like the Padres are shifting for every left-handed batter. Rollins, a switch hitter, batting from the left side, yet the outfield is essentially straight away. Melvin Upton Jr. a couple of steps toward right center.
And some fans might wonder how in the world, the outfield not playing so drastically to pull as the infield. Well, they scout the balls on the ground and they scout the balls in the air. So completely different reference points for where you position your fielders in the outfield compared to your infielders.
3 balls and no strikes. Espana walked Peterson to begin the game. Jock tried to steal second base. He got caught. And now 3-0 to Rollins with Ellis awaiting. 3-1.
Bottom of the order, Nomar, 2 out. This place, are you trying to turn the lineup over, or would you have turned Jimmy loose, getting down to AJ and Clayton?
It's a tough call there. I mean, it really is. You're thinking, okay. Also, if he's struggling, is he throwing strikes? Possibly turning that lineup over, but you're also asking a guy who's been struggling at the plate to come through the next at bat as well. And you're thinking also, we talked about why Jimmy Rollins is down there as well. And we're going, okay, we're also putting them down there. We know he's struggling, but also to get the confidence too. So if he gets a walk, fine.
On 3-2, there goes Ethier, and Rollins is down on strikes, and that will end the inning. 93-mile-an-hour fastball, too fast for Rollins. No runs, 1 hit, no score. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Father's Day, Sunday, June 21st, when the Dodgers face off against the Giants. The first 40,000 fans in attendance receive a Father's Day barbecue set presented by Farmer John. Bring your gloves, join in a post-game catch on the field. For more information, go to Dodgers.com/promotions. Well, Kershaw gave up a hit, struck out one and walked one in the first inning, and took one off his back on a comebacker off the bat of Justin Upton. We'll see how that plays out as this game goes on, as Will Middlebrooks will be leading it off. Middlebrooks at 228. As you look at this Padre team tonight, talk about a team in transition. None of the 9 players that Bud Black is trotting out tonight were on the opening day roster for San Diego last year. None.
That's a turnover. We thought we had a big turnover.
They're all new. Melvin Upton Jr. on deck, and then Clint Barnes. Middlebrooks 8 home runs and 26 runs batted in. Broken back grounder to short. Rollins gets Middlebrooks by a step. Whoever came up with the dimension of 90 feet from home plate to first, it is a perfect dimension.
It wasn't original. I don't know what the original measurements, but I think it's changed 2 or 3 times at least. And remember, though, Charlie, even with what you have that is laid out to play a game, the people who play in the game then adjust according to how fast the ball's hit, where I should play, what is it going to take to get the guy out, what's it going to take to get to first base and, be safe. Omar, you play different distances.
Yes, depending on the runner. I mean, for example, you have a guy like Ichiro Suzuki, left side, almost looks like he's getting a running start. You were playing way in from the shortstop side. You were playing about 3 to 4 steps closer than you normally would.
To Charlie's point, though, the perfect distance. So you then determine the perfect distance to play defensively according to some other variables.
Correct.
And would you position yourself in a way that you knew you could get the runner by a step?
That's exactly right. You have your internal clock on everything in this game.
Speaking of that, we were talking when we were in St. Louis about Ozzie Smith and how he didn't have the hardest throwing arm, the fastest throwing arm. And who was it that texted us in the middle of the game?
Daryl Thomas.
Daryl Thomas said they used to call Ozzie Smith just in time because they got him just in time.
And where he would speed up because he did not have the bullet arm was in his release, in his charging of the ball. And so he had that internal clock that Nomar's talking about, the baseball clock that all the players try and develop, and some get, just is given to them almost.
When a batter gets up to the plate, I would know defensively, okay, if I wanted to dive on this player, if it's 2 steps in the dive, it's 1 step because I know how fast they are. So if you gave me a catcher, for example, who I know didn't have a whole lot of wheels, I know if he had a sharp ball or a ball in the hole, and I can possibly break 1 to 2 and then dive and still have time to throw him out. Another person, I'm going, okay, I don't have enough time to take 2 steps in a dive and see if I came up with it to have a chance to throw him out. So there are all these variables that are playing along in your head to decide when the ball is hit, what kind of play, or how much time you have to get them out.
Now with 2 out, Clint Barnes takes a strike. It's 0-1.
It's a lot different equation than you learn in Little League, which is when the ball's hit to me, what do I do with it? It gets a little bit more complicated at the big league level.
Yeah.
Barnes at 273. Just went up a tick. Second hit given up by Kershaw.
And that's a good hit for the Padres. A, of course, because they get a runner on, but B, they get to turn the lineup over. Despaignet's coming up, and all of a sudden next inning, even if Despaignet makes out, they're at the top of the order. Fastball in, and he just turns on it and happens to hit it to the right place in the hole, but The other thing that Clayton and AJ will say is, well, it only took one hop to get through, so it wasn't the best pitch.
Despaigne 2 for 17. He's been struck out 6 times. Strike on the outside corner.
That equation you just mentioned, Omar, was it natural out there then? Or did you really have to like grind on it?
No, it definitely, I mean, just a lot of reps in baseball. You kind of understand that clock. And you know what's interesting is that even in professional baseball, that clock changes from single A to double A to triple A to
speed of the game.
Yes, it definitely does.
So the game speeds up on many levels, doesn't it?
It does.
1-1, 2 out in the bottom half of the second.
Well, you have a pitcher up here in Despaigne. Doesn't get a whole lot of at-bats, batting 118. And we talked about Clayton trying to establish sides of the plate. Well, is this a type of batter going, okay, not a good hitter, so you try to work on something to establish for other hitters?
You might get a secondary pitch ready or location for the next time around the order. A lot of times I would do that where the guys that I thought I can go almost anywhere and get them out as long as I make a quality pitch, I would get pitches ready for the next time around the order when I was going to face 2, 3, and 4, or the key hitters that I want to put something in their mind or get myself ready for using that pitch.
1-2 to Despaigne, and he's done. Beaten by Uncle Charlie. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, 2 strikeouts for Kershaw. We go to the third. Ellis, Kershaw, and Peterson to bat for the Dodgers. Nissan. Get to Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and surprising offers. Shop at ChooseNissan.com and by CDW. People who get it. We are scoreless as we go to the third inning. A.J. Ellis, Clayton Kershaw, and Jock Peterson. Despaigne to this point, having made the last out, now has finally completed his warm-up tosses. Has given up no runs, 1 hit. He has struck out 2 and walked 1. As you mentioned, Omar, mechanically he's El Duque Jr. How difficult is it to face a batter? I assume, of course, you're looking for the release point. When you got the leg kick and he's kind of playing peekaboo on top of the knee, or is that all just camouflage?
Yeah, you're just really focused on the release point. That's really what it is, being able to pick that up. And we've heard Oro always talk about, certain pitchers who how they hide the ball, and that definitely becomes a factor because then all of a sudden it's on you. But then there are times where Espana will actually change that release point. He'll alter it just a little bit. He'll drop down like that one. There it is, where he kind of goes down just a little bit below 3/4, almost 3/4 a bit lower, to get more of that kind of sinking action on that fastball.
For Ellis this year, it's been a struggle. 138, and he takes a struggle. 1-2. 8 hits and 58 at bats. 2 doubles, 6 singles, and that's that.
You talk about hiding the ball. I didn't believe that you hitters actually watched us take the ball out of our glove. Here comes the arm come around. Okay, here comes the shoulder turn, and that's hiding the ball. What I believed is you saw that in your peripheral vision, and it was part of the whole scenario of what you're picking up from us, our rhythm. I know you're trying to find that release point where the ball is going to come out and it's coming at you, but the guy who comes at you with elbows and knees and shoulder turns and doesn't show you the separation, all of a sudden I think in your peripheral vision you're picking up less information.
It's the difference between
To shortstop, Barmes will throw out Ellis.
It's like going hitting at a batting cage, and you're facing an iron mic where you see the arm come all the way around and throw you the ball, or you're facing hitting in the batting cage, and you see with the circle, and you're waiting for the light to come on, and then the ball comes out.
Yeah, just shoots it at you.
It's a little bit different because you're okay. The light is helping you get your timing down, and then you're timing off the light to when the ball comes out, where then you actually see the whole arm, and you're going, okay, I'm timing that. It seems like it's easier to hit off.
And you can stay in soft focus before you get into fine focus, and your eyes don't get tired.
Right.
You know, I don't think people might understand that soft focus compared to that fine focus that you go from, where you're going from the body down to there to the right to the point and trying to time up that focus.
Clayton Kershaw, no balls and a strike in and out in the third. Jason Hamill of the Cubs has 7 base hits. That's the most for any pitcher this year. Max Scherzer has 6. And then there are 11 of them who have 5. Kershaw and Greinke are 2 of those. Clayton is 5 for 29. 1 out in the third. Third strikeout for Despaigne. So what are the early returns, Oral, on Despaigne and his performance to this point?
Yeah, that pitch right there told me a lot, because he just went right after Clayton with a 2-strike count. He didn't want to wander him off the plate. He said, I'm just going to dot a fastball out there. It shows he's got his really good fastball command, and he's shown good command to the other hitters.
He has struck out 3, walked 1.
Real good change of speeds, real good fastball accuracy and movement.
Peterson walked in his first at-bat and takes a hook for a strike. Puig is on deck. The Padre people will tell you if Despaigne can spot his fastball, he'll be on top of his game. 0-2.
Well, that slow curveball he just throws, it's a rarity in the big leagues. Somebody throws the ball below 70 miles an hour. There's very few of them. And that's something that the hitters are probably they've got an egg timer on it trying to wait for it.
2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the third, no score. And he comes back with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball up and in.
That is total El Duque. 2 slow curveballs. Now I'm going to throw you a fastball up and in. A lot of times they back that up with another fastball in, thinking you're going back to the breaking ball. You can go either way.
Breaking ball. 69.
93-69. 24-mile-an-hour differential. A good, solid differential between a fastball and an off-speed pitch is somewhere between 8 and 12 miles an hour. You'd love double figures.
Now the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
My adjustment as a hitter when I was facing a guy like El Duque is I would actually try to move up toward the pitcher. I'd move up in the plate, not toward the plate, but toward the pitcher to try to take away that big looping curveball.
Peterson gets hit by a pitch. Second time he has been on base. A walk and now plunked. And Puig is coming up.
Well, Jock's been in a 2-for-21 slump, but during that slump coming into tonight's game, he had walked 4 times. Now tonight, no hits, so he's still 2-for-21, but he's been on base 6 more times than those 2 hits. So his on-base percentage, it's up over 377 now. It was 377 coming into this game. So even when he doesn't get his hits, he's still getting on base.
Mattingly gave Peterson the night off on Tuesday. And on Wednesday night, struck out twice, walked twice, and bounced out. And now here's Puig, who took a call 3rd strike in his first at-bat. Puig 4 for 4, a walk and 2 runs scored, a 3-run home run on Wednesday.
Let's see if Jock got thrown out stealing his last time he was on base. Let's see if he's thinking about doing it again.
I like the equation for a fastball mistake from Despaigne to Yasiel if he rushes because of Jock going last time.
Fouled off to the right and out of play, and it's 0-1.
I was going to say, if he was thinking about it, I wouldn't do it on the first pitch. Reason being because of Yasiel Puig's success in swinging at the first pitch. See, these are the things when you get to a regular lineup, you start recognizing if you're thinking about stealing how the guys behind you, what they like to see and what they're successful in.
When Puig puts the ball in play on the first pitch, .443 in his career with 15 home runs. Here's a strike, and it's 0-2.
And this is a battle of countrymen, too. This is personal for these two, pitcher and the hitter. Yasiel, both of them from Cuba. You always see the blood boil when you know guys are from like the same college or they were first-round draft picks in the same year, same country.
0-2 to Puig. 1-2. Speaking with Cubans, and Hector Oliveira was promoted today from AA to AAA. The future Dodger third baseman. How soon into the future is anybody's guess, but he got a step closer today. For Despaigne, his 9th start. On 1-2. Now 2-2. So as Oliveira was promoted from AA to AAA, at AA he was hitting .318, a home run, 6 RBIs in 6 games. The Dodgers acquired Ronald Torreyes from Toronto. Slow roller to third. Middlebrooks can't make the barehanded play. If he was going to make it, that was the only way he was going to make it. Puig, watching him run, did not look particularly comfortable.
His only chance really is to barehanded, like you said, Charlie, because of Yasiel getting down the line. And once again, prior to that ball being hit, we were talking about it earlier about that internal clock that you know who's running down the line. Somebody who can get down the line like Yasiel. So you're making that decision that a ball hit like that I have to go barehanded.
So a hit batter and an error. Boy, that's a tough error.
Well, they give that an error.
I think that'll get changed.
Yeah. That ain't right. Adrian Gonzalez takes inside and low, 1 ball and no strikes. Gonzalez at the moment 316. In the past month, Adrian has hit just 250 with a couple of home runs, 10 runs batted in.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a barehand play called an error. Yeah. Seriously.
I'm with you.
I mean, this might be a first. It's going to get changed.
It should.
The official score has never had ground balls hit to him and said, "Why don't you barehand this one and get this guy who runs a 4.3?"
Right. Probably faster down the line.
Faster,
yeah.
2-0 to Gonzalez. Up the middle into center field for a base hit. Peterson rounding third. He'll score without a throw. Adrian Gonzalez knocks in his 40th run of the season, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead.
Adrian staying inside that ball. That ball was on the inner half and going right back up the middle with it. Easy to really pull off that ball and roll over, trying to get that barrel to it, but instead Adrian keeps the hands inside and drives it right back up the middle.
Coming into the game tonight, Gonzalez 455, 3 doubles, 6 home runs, and 10 RBIs in 8 games against the Padres. He's 1 for 2 tonight. And Kendrick with a slow roller to short, backhanded by Barmes, throws low and dug out by Myers. But the Dodgers with 2 outs. Peterson gets hit in the foot. Puig nominally gets a board on an error, but gets on board nonetheless. Gonzalez with the RBI single. Dodgers 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. Clayton Kershaw has been staked to a 1-0 lead as Adrian Gonzalez knocks in his 40th run of the season. Kershaw, of course, now in search of his 6th win of the year, making his 13th start. As we mentioned in the open, his last 3 starts, 3-0, a .82 ERA. In his last now 24 innings, he has given up a grand total of 2 earned runs. Myers swings and misses. Myers bounced to third in his first at-bat.
Clayton was merely human there in the beginning of the season, and everybody was shocked and worried about him. And he added that pitch right there, that slow curveball, started to get that back, started to find his lanes with his fastball, started to not default to his slider quite as much. He became the Clayton that we all know and love.
Myers on 0-2. Takes a fastball up and away.
It's good to see the velocity still at 95 with Clayton. After taking that shot from Justin Upton off his lower back on his left side, if he's going to start stiffening up, you're going to start to see it in the velocity numbers. You also could start to see a pattern of misses, probably high, because subconsciously he'll want to get the ball out of his hand as quick as possible before he would reach that area of stiffness, which start causing a little pain. So when a pitcher starts to get high, wild high, it's fatigue, stiffness, and sometimes pain. Fortunately, he doesn't have any of those right now.
But he does have 4 strikeouts. This is a Padre team, by the way, that has struck out now 514 times this year, which is second in the National League.
Fastball down Broadway just beats him to the spot. And that's part of the residue from the curveball that he's throwing more now, because now the hitters are in between on what pitch is coming and what speed it could be. So all of a sudden, a fastball down the middle gives you a little bit more range for mistakes and attacking the strike zone. You got so many pitches you could throw them.
Only the young and free-swinging Cubs have struck out more than the Padres have this year. Norris a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. And the Padres ranked 10th in the league in taking walks. So this is a Padre team that finds it difficult, just based on those numbers alone, to manufacture runs. Up through the middle, backhanded, actually on the left side of second base. Kendrick makes the play.
Hockey's still going on. He went for the kick save in a Butte, but he missed it. But fortunately, he got somebody behind him. That's Howie Kendrick, who plays a solid second base, rounds that one off.
Oral, you got one off your pitcher. You already got one off your back, and now you have another one that just missed you. Are you a little gun shy up there? You're just fine because the play, it's an out.
He's 23 and bulletproof.
Okay.
Or no, he's 27, right? 27 and bullfred. He still thinks he's 23.
So do I. Upton. It was Upton who bounced it off the backside of Kershaw in the first inning. Upton's another one. Big free swinger, prone to strike out a lot.
When the noise of the ball hitting your body is almost as loud as the ball hitting the bat, you got hit pretty good.
Kershaw seemed almost offended that Conti and Mattingly came out.
The adrenaline, the anger, missed his spot, and I'll tell you, when he went in, they didn't go address it. They didn't mess with it. He's been like, well,
they're not going to mess. They're not messing with Clayton.
Well, I mean, at least maybe they have the magic cold spray we see at the soccer game so much. Spray that on.
Stan Conti. He's really one of the best in the business. He's also a great researcher, is Stan, on injuries and how they occur, length of time players are out, how soon they can realistically be back based on the research that he does. He presents papers quite often around the country during the offseason. Three and one to Upton. Kershaw looking for his first perfect inning, and it's not going to be the third. The second walk he gives up, and here comes Kemp, who received a walk from Kershaw in his first at-bat. While hitting .249 on the season, he's 12 for 33 against the Dodgers. That's .364. And he has played now in 62 of San Diego's 63 games. But it hasn't hit much. There goes Upton, swing and a miss, throw to second base, and the throw tips off the glove of Kendrick, and the Dodgers catch a break as Upton opts to stay at second.
Well, Upton would have to be real sure he can get to third. The moment he doesn't pick up the ball, he's real sure he's going to stay at second. With 2 outs and already being in scoring position, this ball gets away from Howie. And A.J. kind of throws it high and wide right, knowing that they went on first move on Clayton. So the only chance A.J.'s got of throwing him out is getting rid of the ball as quick as possible. That base was stolen on the risk of moving towards second base on Clayton's first move.
Upton's second stolen base. There's a strike.
You see the 3 numbers come up, the 249, the 2 home runs, and the 32 RBIs for Matt Kemp. 32 RBIs is not too bad on a team that's having trouble getting runners on in front of him. And especially only 2 home runs to have 32 RBIs.
0-2. Fastball away. It wasn't long ago that Kemp and Kershaw and Kemp were the poster children for the Dodgers. Now here they are facing one another. Slow curve foul. Kershaw at 53 pitches, 30 for strikes. Which counts a little bit higher than he'd like it to be. And Hervis Solarte is on deck. The 2-out walk to Upton, then the stolen base. Dodgers a 1-0 lead. Now 2-2.
You know, they don't quite have that shift on like we saw earlier in the year at Matt Kemp. We definitely have him to pull in the infield, but we don't have Howie on the second base side.
Two and two with 2 out.
I don't think it was a point of contention earlier in the season when these two matched up, when Kemp found some holes on the infield, but it was a point of frustration, that's for sure, because Matt got some RBIs and some hits off the plate and that the balls weren't hit very hard.
So this has not been a free and easy first 3 innings for Kershaw. He's at 55 pitches. Kemp 10 walks this year and 58 strikeouts. Upton leads from second. Kershaw wins the battle. 5 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw. No runs, no hits, a walk and a man left. And when we come back for the 4th inning, it'll be Turner, Ethier, and Rollins coming up. And down goes Kemp. Traditions. Baseball and fireworks on the 4th of July when the Dodgers host the Mets. Stay after the game to see the sky light up with a spectacular 4th of July fireworks show presented by Cirque du Soleil's Curious. For more information, go to Dodgers.com/promotions. Justin Turner stepping in. Bounced to short in his first at bat. So Turner, who fouled one off his knee the other night, missed a few games and back in the saddle and just fouled. It was a direct hit on the knee. Tried to stay in for about an inning, and pain and stiffness were too much.
Yeah, and then you add after that he has a play where he has to dive to his left and he lands straight on the knee, and after those two blows you're like, all right, that's enough. I'm out. It's stiffening up.
2-1 to Turner with 5 home runs, 23 runs batted in, and he whacks a base hit into the left field corner. Let's see if that wounded knee is going to keep him from going to second. He takes the big turn and retreats to first. With Andre Ethier coming up, time to take a look at tonight's edition of Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. Who doesn't love coming to San Diego? Nobody loves hitting against Padre pitching more than Andre Ethier. He has more home runs against them than any other active player. Andre merely singled to right in his first at-bat. Now that Puig is back, he's moved from right field to left. Scott Van Slyke is just a few games away from coming off the disabled list. And so the outfield's going to start getting crowded again. Have no idea when Carl Crawford will be able to return to duty. He's got that oblique issue. Rollins on deck. Slowly hit. There won't be a double play. And they just get Ethier by a half a step. Close play. Nicely done by Barmes. Turner goes to second.
This is one of those tough plays as an infielder because you know he hits it off the end of the bat and you're watching the hops to see if it's going to kick a certain way because of that spin. And Barmes stays with it and just barely gets Ethier. I'll tell you, Justin Turner, he's still laboring a little bit from that knee because he didn't get down there too quickly on that ground ball.
Jimmy Rollins takes a curve for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Charlie, you talked about the timing of the game and the perfect distance, and I said, well, it wasn't the original distance. Well, it has been. It's pretty original. Since 90 feet, it's been that way since 1857.
Sounds original to me.
There were some other distances prior to that, but I think that's old enough to call original.
So the distance prior to the Civil War, that's pretty long-standing.
There's nobody in this booth that can tell us what they were before that.
That was pre-Sports Center, right?
Yeah, it's
a little bit.
It's the red coats against the gray coats.
A ball, a strike, and an out. Dodgers with a 1-0 lead. Rollins is here and has had difficulty hitting in the clutch. 156, 7 out of 45. And again, Turner slowed by that knee. Short lead at second, and Rollins fouls it. Just walking back, it looks like a bit of an effort for Turner. A.J. Ellis on deck. Rollins down on strike. Second time he's been struck out. That's 4 strikeouts for Despaigne. Ellis bounced to short in his first at-bat. Diamondbacks with a 1-0 lead in San Francisco. Giants batting in the bottom of the 4th. Ellis takes high. Just get the feeling the Dodgers and Giants are going to be scoreboard watching for the next 3.5 months. Mattingly's club, a 1.5 games in front of San Francisco. This is a really big game for the Padres, more so than the Dodgers. Ellis takes a strike. San Diego is 5 games behind the Dodgers. If somehow the Padres split, they're right back in it, 2 behind. But Black's team loses 2 out of 3 or gets swept. You see in the standings, they can fall in a hurry, as the Diamondbacks and Rockies recently found out against the Dodgers. Don Mattingly, the skipper since 2011. And in that time, Mattingly's club, when visiting Petco Park, Dodgers are 25-15. So Ellis 2-2 with 2 out. Turner still at second. And Ellis into left field. Upton can't get it. It drops in front of him. Coming home to score is Turner. And the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead. That was simply misplayed by Justin Turner.
Upton charged the ball. Looked like he had a shot at it, but he broke his stride down.
And then he just stopped. I mean, I know this ball got in a little bit on A.J. Ellis. He didn't square the ball up, and I don't know if that caused Upton to misread that and then just kind of hold up. And after that, he really couldn't get any momentum. Saw the ball kind of handcuff him a little bit on that short hop after he misread that.
And Kershaw on his first pitch he sees grounds to short, and that will end the inning. From the Dodger point of view, all charity happily accepted. Ellis a hit and an RBI. The Dodgers have a run, and after 3.5, they lead the Padres 2-0. At the June gloom. In the case of Clayton Kershaw, you will never hear such a complaint, will you, Alana?
That is the perfect way to set me up, Charlie. Thank you very much. In fact, the fact that Clayton Kershaw has won both of his outings so far in the month of June, he now has effectively won each of his first starts in the month of June, of course, putting Clayton Kershaw on a very select and a very short list. He is now no other National League pitcher since the end of World War II. You guys were talking about originally the distance before the end of World War II has posted a longer streak. The last National League pitcher to win more than 9 straight starts in this month was St. Louis's Mort Cooper between 1941 and 1943. 12 straight. Not sure if any of you guys were covering such streak.
Nah, there was just Nickelodeon highlights.
But the bases were 90 feet.
That we do know.
And will be well into the next century, too, I'm guessing.
All right. From 1845 to 1856, they were 74.3.
Yeah, but they weren't quite as fast then either. It was hard traveling from home to first with a musket over your shoulder. Solarte leads off. Then he bounced or popped to second in his first at-bat. Dodgers 2-0. RBIs for Gonzalez and Ellis. And Solarte takes high and outside. Will Middlebrooks and Melvin Upton Jr. Man formerly known as BJ. Meanwhile, Kershaw falls behind 3-0 to Solarte. Five strikeouts, 2 walks for Kershaw to this point. And a 4-pitch walk, and none of the pitches were close. So Kershaw, who retired the first 2 batters in the first, second, and third, gives up a leadoff walk to Solarte here in the 4th. Ellis saw something.
Yeah, that's a lot longer chat and a lot more patience from Clayton during the discussion than we normally see. He likes to be left alone out there. He's almost like Bob Gibson used to be when he'd get a visit, like, what are you doing on my mound?
You don't belong here. Will Middlebrooks bounced to short in his first at-bat. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
If there is any stiffness starting to set in with Clayton, sometimes the original 8 warm-up pitches in between innings isn't enough, and those first 4 to walk Solarte might have been something he needed to get loose or to find his rhythm.
No balls and 2 strikes to Middlebrooks with Upton Jr. on deck. Kershaw has walked 3 through 3+ innings. He has walked more than 3 only once this year. Solarte has stolen a base this year. And Kershaw misses. 1-2.
One of the things I can admire about Clayton, taking that shot off his back earlier, you don't see any of the body language gyrations like he's going to use it as an excuse. He's not out there stretching or bending and moving like, oh, I've got an issue, but he still wants to pitch. And we've seen guys play both sides of that equation where they want to stay in, but every other pitch they're like, oh, I got something I got to adjust.
But he just doesn't seem as crisp tonight, certainly,
No.
in his last 3 starts.
No, he's not. And I'm sure he's battling through it, and he's a gamer, and he's a tough guy, and you admire that.
2-2 to Middlebrooks. That is strikeout number 6. Now let's put this in perspective. He's not as sharp as he normally is. He's got 6 strikeouts in 4 innings, and he's shutting them out.
And he's still using the curveball, which is really the adjustment other than the fastball command that has really put him on this hot streak of the last 3 games.
So in the last 25 innings, Kershaw has struck out 34 and walked 6.
Well, great pitchers, you know, every pitcher's not going to have their great stuff every single time they step on the mound. But great pitchers find a way, even when they don't have it. And even when they have their advantage, they're almost, to some degree, almost beat the other team as they're stepping in the box where they're going, okay, this is who I'm facing, Clayton Kershaw. Let me just kind of get through this at bat, or hopefully maybe this whole game I get 1 hit. Try to do that. Even when they don't recognize, you know, they may not realize, okay, he may not have it, but he's still, to some degree, almost is beating these hitters when they step into the box.
And then there are those hitters who have Kershaw-itis on a given day.
That's right. And they say, you know what, I can take this day. Even though they didn't get hit with a line drive, they're feeling something that's stiffened up in their back.
So Melvin Upton Jr. with Solarte leading off first.
That just makes me laugh.
He used to be Boss Man Jr., BJ.
Nomar, when you were going through a tough time and you didn't like the way things were going, didn't you just like, I cleaned out my locker, maybe I changed my socks, you know?
Yeah, I was like, all right.
I mean, we got a couple names that maybe we'd even want to change our names, but we didn't go that extent.
He was the player to be named later, Melvin Upton Jr. He was named later by himself. His father's nickname was Boss Man, and that's how he became BJ. His father's name happens to be Melvin. So, this is his second game with the Padres. Began the year on the DL.
So, like the trade that happened between the Dodgers and Boston when you got Josh Beckett and Adrian Gonzalez came and Carl Crawford
and Nick Punto.
There are pieces of that trade that people value highly, and then there are parts that are sometimes considered baggage. And for the Padres to get Craig Kimbrell, I think Melvin was part of the baggage, or you better hope he turns it around.
He was the caboose on the train. Into short right. Kendrick in foul territory takes charge. Padres said, well, okay, we will take Kimbrell, and all right, we'll take Melvin Upton Jr. And from the Braves' point of view, they unloaded Melvin Upton Jr. and a lot of money in the case of Kimbrell, and they're getting by with Grilli as their closer. And the Braves right now are very happy with how that deal worked out. Frees up a lot of money for them as they get ready to move into their new ballpark in a year and a half.
Well, John Hart, who built the franchise in Cleveland, built the franchise and rebuilt in Texas.
This is Clint Barmas hitting.
And then is now in charge in Atlanta. It's part of the rebuilding there.
He is truly an architect. John Hart, when he came to Cleveland, this was before Jacobs Field was built, put together all of these wonderful, talented young people who came together in '94 when the stadium was built. And Gabe Paul, who had been the former president, and Phil Segui had been the GM before that, they would always say, this town is a sleeping giant. Give them a winner, and they will come out. And then they sold out for about 5 consecutive years every single game.
Yeah, I was a part of that in '95, '96, and '97. I remember interviewing with John Hart as a free agent, and it was a great interview. Just the plan he had laid out, all the pieces of what, and timing it up. And he was looking for veterans who had won that still wanted to win, to come in and show the younger guys how it's done.
Barmas takes a call, strike 3, and Kershaw has struck out 7. No runs, no hits, a walk and a man left. When we come back for the top of the 5th, it'll be the top of the Dodgers order. Peterson, Puig, and Gonzalez. For the Padres as we head to the 5th, and on Monday join Alana Rizzo and Don Mattingly as they bring you an inside look at the best moments of the week on and off the field. Don't miss Dodgers Clubhouse Monday at 9 right here on Sportsnet LA. So it'll be Jock Peterson, Yasiel Puig, and Adrian Gonzalez here in the 5th inning. They're in the bottom of the 5th at AT&T in Arizona with a 1-0 lead over the Giants. Peterson has walked and been hit by a pitch, and he bounces one off the leg of Despaigne and still is able to pick it up and throw him out. That's how hard the ball was hit. Despaigne didn't know where it was at first. Still had time to throw at the speedy Peterson.
Jock takes this ball right back up the middle, and he is hustling down the line. And Despaigne just kind of calm, collects, sees where the ball is, and still has enough time to get Jock.
And threw two fastballs in the space of about 3 seconds. And 2 strikes on that. Yasiel Puig rolls it slowly up the third baseline. Middlebrooks. That time it's too late. And let's see, Will Myers still learning how to play the position. They have tweaked his ankle a little bit on the play.
I think Yasiel might have stepped on him.
Yeah. You see the play by Middlebrooks, and
Yep.
Both players are lucky they're not both seriously injured. You see the tweaking of Yasiel's ankle, and Myers gets the same issue, coming right down on his heel.
That's the second time Puig has rolled one up the third base line. In the 3rd inning, on a barehanded attempt, Middlebrooks was called for an error, which is likely to be changed, but Puig is at first now with the slow roller.
Still surprised it hasn't been changed yet.
Especially now with that evidence.
No further questions, Your Honor. So Puig at the moment is 1 for 3. Gonzalez with a single to center in the 3rd inning. Knocked in his 40th run and gave the Dodgers an early 1-0 lead. They lead by 2 now. Kendrick on deck. Gonzalez now with 69 hits on the season.
Yasiel's got to learn that when he walks off the base, he's got to keep his weight in his legs. He walks off and takes the weight out of his body, and so then he has to kind of coil to get back instead of being able to just immediately get back.
Puig 0 for 1 in stolen base trials. Two and one. Once again, the Padres employ the shift for Adrian Gonzalez. Adrian with 11 home runs. He hit 3 off Andrew Kashner.
See Yasiel, when he went back to first base there, kind of limping around. He's kind of limping on the foot that he actually stepped on Will Myers with.
So he's got a foot issue. He's got a hamstring issue. And a thumb protector on the left wrist. Three and one to Adrian Gonzalez. And Kendrick, who's been terrific all year with runners in scoring position, awaits. One out in the fifth. Gonzalez thought it was ball 4, but Doug Eddings, the home plate umpire, in his 16th big league season out of New Mexico, thinks otherwise.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit?
Espana has walked 1, but this is his 4th full count. And that one is well hit to left. Back goes Upton. He's at the wall. He will track it down. Puig retreats to first. Gonzalez gave it a pretty good poke, but not quite enough.
And that wasn't necessarily the best route we saw by Justin Upton to get that ball either. I know that ball is slicing away from him. But nonetheless, still makes the play as Adrian tried to drive that one the other way.
Now Kendrick, who was robbed of a double by Will Middlebrooks in his first at-bat, a diving stab near the line at third. And then he bounced to short. Kendrick, the walk-off hero on Wednesday night. Second time he has had a walk-off hit for the Dodgers. Two balls and no strikes with Justin Turner on deck. So Espana to this point, 4 strikeouts, a walk, and has hit a batter. Slowly hit to second. Easy play for Solarte, and that will end the inning. No runs, the infield hit for Puig at the halfway mark after 4.5. The Dodgers in Kershaw, a 2-0 lead. California Toyota dealers. Now, during Toyota's summer savings, you can save big on any 2015 Camry. And buy Jack in the Box. Taste the new black pepper cheeseburger today, only at Jack in the Box. Despaigne, Myers, and Norris will back for the Padres against Clayton Kershaw as we begin the bottom half of the fifth inning. Clayton has struck out 7, walked 3, and delivers a strike, and it's 0-1. 73 pitches, 42 for strikes. Now that was the 74th. Despaigne with a bunt up the first base line. Kershaw makes the play. What a throw that was by Kershaw to throw on the second base side of the bag as his body was going in the other direction.
That's a great point, Charlie, and also the way he threw the ball. He knows it's not about velocity, but just releasing it, so he just kind of pushes the ball. He doesn't worry about how hard he throws it. He just makes sure he gets rid of it. You see the rhythm of the throw, the speed of the feet to get there, to get off the mound, but then composing himself enough to just make a nice little accurate throw like a second baseman feeding a shortstop.
The Morongo Casino slow-mo cam. He is such a good athlete, Clayton Kershaw. And that was the only way he could make that throw because of the way Despaigne was, where and when he was heading to the bag. Will Myers 0 for 2 has bounced out and has been struck out.
I can tell you from experience playing first base, as a first baseman, you see your pitcher going for that ball, all of a sudden you're going, where's he going to throw this, and how hard is he going to throw this at me? And what a beautiful touch Clayton put on that ball.
Myers, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Clayton Kershaw won the Gold Glove in 2011. Cy Young, an MVP last year. Adrian Gonzalez, 4-time Gold Glover. Myers on 1 and 2, fouls it back. That is one noticeable difference between the Dodgers of 2014 and 2015. Last year, the Dodgers finished 14th in defense. 1 from the bottom. Now, with just 27 errors so far this year, they're second in the league. 1 from the top.
A lot of that has to do with just having a solid up the middle team too. The addition of Howie Kendrick, Jimmy Rollins, Jock Peterson.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. For Clayton Kershaw, his 8th strikeout of the game, and that's the 2nd out of the 5th.
This is a big cutter or a high slider. It's an awful lot of break. I think that's a high slider that just came out of his hand early. Yeah, that spin and that dot. He's trying to go down and underneath, and Clayton kind of hangs his head, but it was an effective hanging slider.
8 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 out and nobody on. Norris is struck out and bounced to second. He takes a strike, 0-1. Derek Norris, 37 RBIs, has more runs batted in than any other catcher in the majors. One and one. And hitting .395 against left-handed pitching this year. But Clayton Kershaw is not just another left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, when I saw Derek Norris hitting in the 2-hole, I was starting to think of all the old catchers that have hit up there in the top of the order. Leadoff and second, you think of Russell Martin, Jason Kendall, John Jasso. Butch Weiniger did it, Craig Biggio.
Little bloop behind second, and Howie Kendrick like a wide receiver. Catching the soft toss in the first 1-2-3 inning of the night for Kershaw. Turner, Ethier, and Rollins come up in the 6th. Clayton and the Dodgers 2-0.
Face Turner, Ethier, and Rollins, and really on the hill, guys, is where he belongs. Word on the street is his BP is laughable, and back on April 20th, Despaigne hit a grounder to right field when they were playing the Rockies. It was his first hit in 31 at-bats, but he made a bet with some of his teammates. They went ahead and promised him a new wardrobe, and they came through. Matt Kemp, Justin Upton, Joaquin Benoit, and Andrew Kashner. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, approximately $6,400 worth of stuff, guys.
Looks like they wanted the price of right. Price is right. Oral, you'd look good in those silver slippers. That's all you.
I was just thinking about $6,400 per hit.
I wonder, did he pick that, or did they pick that for him?
Yeah. Did he win the bet or lose it? Turner 1 for 2 and a run scored. Dodgers 2-0. Despaigne's pitched well, 4 strikeouts and a walk. And Lorenzo Bundy casually sidesteps that line drive. Turner's bounced out, single to left, and scored a run. Giants are hitting in the bottom of the 6th. Chase Anderson is not only shutting them out, he's got a no-hitter going through 5 1/3. 1-0 Arizona up at AT&T. Bumgarner pitching for the Giants. Dodgers just completed a 3-game sweep of Arizona, against whom they are now 7-2. Like last year, the Dodgers have feasted on teams within the division. Last year, the Dodgers were 50-26 against National League Western Division rivals. And this year, they're cruising along as well. The Dodgers against the National League West this year are 24-16. Turner down on strikes, and for Despaigne, his 5th strikeout, first out of the 6th inning. You were saying in the open, Paul, that Despaigne is an all-or-nothing proposition, and tonight he is all.
He's locked in, and it's command. It's definitely command, because if he can command the fastball, all of a sudden he's going to pitch ahead in the count. He's going to be able to change speeds. He's going to be able to use his breaking ball more because he's ahead in the count.
Now here's Ethier 1 for 2. He takes a strike.
And there's your 67-mile-an-hour curveball, and he can take it all the way up to about 93 with the fastball.
You're right, Nomar. There's a lot of El Duque in this guy. How he throws and what he throws. In the short center. One of the Uptons will get it. Melvin Jr. 2 out. It sure is easier to win when you get 26 runs to work with in your 3 victories. Well, he's gotten plenty of nothing from his offense so far tonight. Jimmy Rollins has struck out twice, takes a pitch in the dirt, 1-0. The Dodgers will be facing James Shields on Sunday. Talk about run support. Shields is getting about 7 1/4 runs per start to work with. That's the most of any pitcher in the league. Greinke goes for the Dodgers tomorrow. Zach looking to go 6-1 tomorrow. Rollins takes a curve for a strike. And it's 2-2. A.J. Ellis on deck. Slowly hit to Barmes on the first base side of second. And a 1-2-3 inning for Despagne, who's retired 5 in a row. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Kershaw to face Justin Upton, Matt Kemp, and Hervis Solarte. 2-0 Dodgers. One of the first 40,000 fans in attendance Thursday, June 18th, when the Dodgers host the Texas Rangers. And pick up your Mike Marshall pin, the 4th in the Cy Young Pin Collectors Series, brought to you by 76. For more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Meanwhile, Clayton Kershaw has a 2-0 lead to work with. We go to the bottom of the 6th. He's given up 2 hits. He has struck out 8 and walked 3. And yet he's had just 1 perfect inning. That was the 5th. He's now retired 6 in a row. Upton takes a strike, and it's 0-1. In San Francisco, they've gone to the 7th inning. The Diamondbacks with a 1-0 lead, and Chase Anderson has a no-hitter through 6. Now here's a rhetorical question. If we're talking about a no-hitter 500 miles from here, are we jinxing it?
No.
All right.
No.
Does a tree make a sound in the woods?
That would be a no-no too, wouldn't it? 1-2 to Upton. He was the one who hit the comebacker off the back of Kershaw in the first inning, and he has also walked.
So many of those silly jokes going through my head now. I'm not going to use any of them.
Kemp and Solarte to follow. Kershaw, as you see, 89 pitches. 52 of them for strikes. That is strikeout number 9 for Clayton Kershaw.
A little bit of a rarity because it's on a slider or a cutter down and in. Yep. Clayton's had some really good strikeouts tonight on his curveball. That little slider / cutter sneaks under the bat. Justin Upton's. You want to make sure you get it down and in because that's in his sweet spot if you leave that one over the middle of the plate.
Kemp has walked and struck out. And takes a strike, 0-1. Two home runs for Kemp. Now it's 0-2. Matt at 248. But an on-base percentage of just .285. Foul tip.
Talking to some of the people around the Padres about Matt and how his swing has been, and we talked about last year how he had such a great second half, and he started to believe what Mark McGwire and John Valentin were telling him about staying compact and going to right field, not getting long. Well, they say he had been getting long a little bit ago, and now shortening up and getting better, but not on that pitch.
Strikeout number 10 for Clayton Kershaw.
Just the remnants of throwing the curveball more often. Now you're seeing people take fastballs for strikes, swing through fastballs in the middle of the plate. The way AJ and Clayton are now mixing the pitches, they are getting away with mistakes, and when they hit their spot, they're just making people look terrible.
Solarte takes a strike, 0-1.
That's just a rifle shot right there, that first pitch strike. Just downhill, bam, right on the corner.
9 straight first pitch strikes.
Well, you know the book on Clayton, when you're facing him, you're thinking, okay, especially the right hand, he likes to come in. He likes either cut or slider in, fastball inside. So you can pretty much eliminate the outer half, or you're thinking, and get to him early. Now he'll come in, and now he's going on the outside and freezing you.
Well hit to left field. Hardest hit ball of the night off Kershaw. Solarte with a 2-out stand-up double.
The curveball pops up the pitch before this. So Solarte in some way says, okay, he doesn't have a good release point on that one. I'll eliminate it. I'll stay on the cheese. And the cheese comes to the inside. You don't sneak it by the mouse.
He had that first one that he's got in there. Fastball strike. That one was over the middle of the plate more. Caught more of the plate, and he was able to stay on that one.
Now Will Middlebrooks. Solarte at second base, just the third Padre hitter in scoring position tonight. Middlebrooks has bounced out and has been struck out. Upton Jr. on deck. 0-2. Kershaw with 10 strikeouts tonight. The 5th double-digit strikeout game of the year. and the 34th of his career.
This would be the 100th pitch, Charlie, and that double might have cost Clayton maybe an extra inning. Depends on how many pitches it takes right here to get the third out.
It cost him 2 pitches. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Was getting whacked in the back from that ball that Justin Upton hit at him. A line drive off his back. Don Mattingly and Rick Honeycutt did a little more complicated equation on getting him out other than just pitch count.
Dodger bullpen's beginning to shuffle around a bit out there. And Kershaw's due to bat second in the 7th.
Here's the moment we're talking about where Clayton and the equation gets more complicated. This line drive. Clayton waved off any help from Stan Conti. There it is.
Get out of here.
The wave off was as much arm speed as he uses on a fastball.
2-2 to Middlebrooks. Grounded to third. Nicely done by Justin Turner with a lot of topspin. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We'll go to the 7th. Kershaw is due to bat second. Dodgers lead 2-0. Will bat second in the top half of the 7th inning, and he's got a 2-0 lead to work with. Despaigne has been sensational tonight, but Kershaw's been even better.
102 pitches, no action in the bullpen, coming to the on-deck circle. He and Don Mattingly had a little bit of a chat, but it was at more than about 10 words.
You want to bat? Yes. It'll be about 3, huh?
How you feel?
Good.
If we get 6 runs, you're out. Okay.
Well, I'm not sure about the okay part. A.J. Ellis 1 for 2, drove in a run back in the 4th inning with 2 out. He lined to left field. And Turner at second base. Ball dropped in front of Justin Upton. Ellis got a hit and an RBI, and the Dodgers took a 2-0 lead, which they hold on to as we begin the 7th. Despaigne, this is going to be his 103rd pitch. 62 for strikes. And Ellis grounds one foul up the third base line. Well, Chase Anderson has finally given up a hit in San Francisco in the bottom of the 7th. He and the Diamondbacks lead Bumgarner and the Giants 1-0. Despaigne to Ellis through the middle. Base hit for A.J. Ellis. 2 for 3 tonight. A leadoff single. battery mate, best buddy, Clayton Kershaw, has one sacrifice on the year. But we have also seen Kershaw in situations like this with the Butcher Boy play.
Sure have. He handles the bat very well. He's got the whole bag of tricks. And we've seen Despaigne get outfits for just one hit. Clayton would have a closet full.
He'd have a full wardrobe, wouldn't he?
If he had that deal.
I think his footwear would be a little more conservative, however. So Clayton taking a good hard look at Lorenzo Bundy. Received signs from Don Mattingly. Ellis, of course, is not the fleetest of foot. He's got a short lead. Norris has but one play. Mission accomplished. Kershaw's second sacrifice of the year.
He can get his hits, he can pull it back and swing, and he can lay it down. Get it out just beyond the dirt area. Perfect distance. Nice job.
Frank Garces, the left-hander, has been warming in the bullpen. Jock Peterson, of course, a left-handed hitter, is coming up next. And so Bud Black is going to replace Despaigne with one out, one on. Top of the seventh. Peterson coming up, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. Brought to you by the Dodge Challenger. With an EPA estimated 30 highway mpg, this car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com today. So Despaigne in his ninth start this year goes 6 1/3. 2 runs, 6 hits, one of them earned. Struck out 5, walked 1. Here's Frank Garces. He's the only left-hander in the Padre bullpen, and he is being called upon to face Jock Peterson. With Ellis at second base and one out in the seventh, and the Dodgers looking to tack on an insurance run here. Jock Peterson, .295 against lefties. Better than his .236 against right-handed pitching. This is a big sweeper, and it's 0-1. The Stratomatic All-Star, Jock Peterson, among the league leaders in home runs, walks, and strikeouts. Puig on deck. Throw down to second base. And sneaking in behind A.J. Ellis is Clint Barnes. The shift is on for Peterson. And the outfield slightly playing him toward left. If Peterson can find the gap in right center, he can run all night. 2-1. Jock at 248, 17 home runs, 33 runs batted in. Three and one. Peterson 268, runners in scoring position. So Garces is brought on to face Jock Peterson, and he walks him. Best laid plans of mice and men. Sean Kelly, a right-hander, is now warming up in the Padre bullpen. And here is Puig with first and second. Puig at the moment 1 for 3. There was an error charge to Will Middlebrooks back in the third inning on a barehanded attempt that he couldn't field cleanly. It was called an error. Then in his next at bat, Peterson rolled one up the third base line and beat the throw. 1 ball and no strikes to Puig. So he's 1 for 3 coming off a 4 for 4 night on Wednesday. Six for his last 12. Takes inside, 2-0.
It's coming off the DL. The swing looks a little bit more compact. Even that practice swing right there is new and different. Trying to keep his hands closer to his body. Knows that he gets long. Just a lot more intentional movements to his game.
Ellis at second, Peterson at first.
Except for that bunt move.
3-0.
Some of them, somebody has to tell him he has to pull the ball, the bat back before it crosses home plate for it to be a ball.
Yeah, that's the official way to take.
And that's why they looked at Randy Wolf's older brother, first base umpire. He took it back this time, a 4-pitch walk. Frank Garces gets brought in. He's thrown 9 pitches, 8 balls, and the Dodgers have the bases loaded. Darren Balsley, the longtime pitching coach, goes out to have a chat. It's almost as if Bud Black said, "You go out there." And Adrian Gonzalez will hit with the bases loaded.
I tell you, it is not a comfortable position to be on the mound, to be walking the bases loaded, knowing you're staying in the game, and now you have to face Adrian Gonzalez. Because Adrian will keyhole you. And he also, if you make a mistake, if you're just trying to get over and get your release point back to get a strike, he'll make you pay.
Yeah, right here as a hitter, you're thinking, okay, I know bases low. Do I take a strike? He's having trouble, but you're looking 1 pitch, 1 spot, and you let it fly.
326 with runners in scoring position. And 429 with the bases loaded. 3 for 7 with the bases loaded this year is Gonzalez. And he takes the strike, 0-1.
Yeah, Charlie, Adrian does not like that pitch. It looked a little wide to me. That conversation is going to continue for a little bit. You had bases loaded. Adrian hasn't been hitting to his standards of late.
And you're telling the umpire, like, listen, you can't give him that pitch after he just walked the first 2 batters in front of him. He hasn't established that.
Now it's no balls and 2 strikes, and Adrian is doing a slow burn. Such a huge difference between 1-0 and 0-1.
And also, it's right now you can tell as Adrian's talking, even the pitch before, it's really taken him out of his at-bat. I mean, obviously the pitch before definitely showed on K-Zone that it was a ball. And now you end up beating yourself up and swinging after a bad pitch the next one.
Kendrick on deck. 0-2. Slowly hit to second. And a inning-ending double play. Gonzalez is really steamed. And he is going to walk slowly past Doug Eddings. Don Mattingly's got an eye out. And here comes Gonzalez being thrown out of the game. That first pitch of the at-bat just so upset Gonzalez, and rarely do you see that. Doug Eddings is hearing it. And Don Mattingly is pulling guard here. Adrian is still giving Eddings the what for, and that's going to do it. So the Dodgers with the bases loaded, 1 out. Gonzalez a disputed call, and the inning is over. So the Dodgers up 2, but down a first baseman. As Kershaw delivers a strike to Melvin Upton Jr. Kershaw to this point 10 strikeouts, 3 walks. Adrian Gonzalez thrown out of the game after bouncing into a double play and after disagreeing vehemently with the very first pitch of the at-bat. Here's Alberto Callaspo. He's come in to play third base, and Justin Turner, who had been at third, moves over to first to take the place of the ejected and dejected Adrian Gonzalez. Upton is struck out and popped out, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Oral, you and I saw that coming. I mean, as soon as Adrian hit into that double play, I mean, he hit first and turned around, and you could tell he was upset.
From that 0-1 pitch, it was a slow burn. And then after the double play, it wasn't such a slow burn anymore. Puig can't quite reach it.
Take a look at the about face. After Adrian hits into the double play, as he runs down to first base. Take a look at the pitch first.
And that sets up. I mean, it's bases loaded. You know it's a big run, and there's what you're talking about, Oral.
And Garces had thrown 8 of 9 pitches that were balls. So that very first pitch said, come on. One and 2 to Upton, beginning the bottom of the 7th. Donnie didn't say a word and didn't have to. 2 and 2.
I'll tell you, during that time, after he gets thrown out, Adrian goes back and talks to home plate Doug Eddings and talked to him for a while, a long time. And that usually doesn't happen unless the umpire knows, okay, he may have missed it. A couple of things.
May have missed it. A lot of respect for Adrian.
Yeah, respect for Adrian, knowing he might have missed it. See, Adrian doesn't draw it until after he's already thrown out. He's already thrown out by then, and he decides, like, I'm going to go draw it now.
Crew Chief Bill Miller there just kind of overseeing the discussion.
Well, the fact that Bill Miller doesn't even get in there either.
They all.
Strikeout number 11 for Kershaw as we begin the 7th.
To guarantee a few things in that conversation Adrian had. There wasn't any swearing going on. There's somebody stepping in for sure.
Right.
And they have an awful lot of respect for him and his knowledge of the strike zone, the way he handles himself on the field, the way he treats umpires.
So they understand his frustration in that moment. They let him get it out, and I guarantee you got it out in a respectful manner.
And when the umpire knows he missed it, you get more time.
Yep.
Clint Barmas fouls it off to the right, and it's 0-1. I am sure at some point Gonzalez has been thrown out of the game, although I don't remember when. One ball and 1 strike to Barmas, with Corey Spangenberg in the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Garces. Kershaw 11 strikeouts and 3 walks. And that one is well hit to left. It is way back and it is gone. A home run for Clint Barmas, but his 2nd home run of the year. And the Padres are back to within 1. It is 2-1. Kershaw surrenders his 8th home run of the year.
We've seen a couple of these cutter/sliders that Clayton has gotten away with when he's left up. He struck out Will Myers earlier on a high one. He got one under Justin Upton's bat. This one he leaves up, and Barmas doesn't let him get away with it.
Well, we may come back and look at the first pitch to Adrian Gonzalez in the top half of the 7th inning as a potential turning point in the game. Now the Padres are within 1, and here is Spangenberg. Play that scenario out. Gonzalez getting increasingly steamed with each pitch. Then he bounces into a double play with the bases loaded. Ends the inning, and everything changed.
And Nomer, I know when we've talked to fans, tell me the emotional status of a batter when the first pitch is wrong in their head and why they can't turn the page immediately.
Well, because you know you have your approach. You're going, okay, I know this guy is struggling. My approach is 1 pitch, 1, he makes a mistake, and I'm going to let it go. And you're seeing the ball well, and you know it's a ball. It just throws you all off because you're like, wait a minute, now I'm 0-1 as compared to 1-0, and he's still having trouble finding the plate. Now I'm not.
I got to cover a bigger outside corner.
Now I can't keyhole him like I was, because I still had the same approach 1-0. Okay, he can't find the plate. If he makes a mistake, I'm going to do some damage. And it takes you out of that completely.
Spangenberg to first, Turner with the underhanded flip to Kershaw. 2 out.
Bang, bang at first. Left-handed thrower Clayton Kershaw falls off to third base. Does a nice job pivoting on his right foot quickly and barely beats him over there.
Spangenberg, a very fast runner.
That's one of those where you cannot take that angle that they teach in Little League covering first base as a pitcher. You've got to go straight to the bag and risk the collision with the runner.
With Will Myers coming up, Don Mattingly's coming out, and he's going to make a move to the bullpen. So Kershaw's night is done. Yimi Garcia is coming in to face Will Myers. With 2 out, nobody on, and the Dodgers now nursing a 2-1 lead. For strikes, fanned 11, walked 3, and Adrian Gonzalez thrown out of the game. And not only did he disagree with home plate umpire Doug Eddings in the 7th, it began in the 5th.
The wide fastball right there that gets them back in the count. Adrian flew out, and then this pitch here, he's been dealing with a wide strike zone all night. Kind of a slow burn, but a respectful slow burn for Adrian until he grounded into the double play, and then he came back and had his last say, and that's when he had his last at bat.
It was his last hurrah. Doug Eddings, the home plate umpire, hearing it from Gonzalez tonight and the Dodgers. And now here is Yimi Garcia, 2 on, nobody out, and it's popped up. Will Myers on the first pitch. Who's taking charge? Garcia, get out of the way!
This play is what we have to talk about, and Yimi Garcia should get out of the way. The only thing the pitcher should do is, if there's a communication problem, get somebody out of the way that might collide with it. You don't be the one that collides with Justin Turner. He should have been over there, maybe keeping Callaspo out of the way, letting Turner have the whole ground, but don't get caught like that. But now he's got to settle himself down quickly because he's got the tying run on second.
And he had 1 pitch and 1 out, but now instead tying run at second base. The error goes to Justin Turner. Derek Norris to left field, and this one is gone.
is a frustrating seat right there for Clayton. You've got a chance to get your 6th win, building a resume to go to an all-star game, and then 2 pitches later, you get a no decision, and your team is down by a run.
I mean, you could see this playing out. Charlie, you talked about it, how important that pitch was going to be, a turning point there. You get the ground ball, double play. Adrian Gonzalez, he gets tossed. And then you get an error that gives to Justin Turner, who has to come in for him, which collides with the pitcher. And now you're down by 1.
Jimmy Garcia had no business being in the zip code. That's the 5th home run Garcia's given up. For Derek Norris, his 7th home run. And the Dodgers have been hit square on the nose.
You throw 117 pitches, you work your tail off, you strike out 11, you're 1 out away from getting your team in the dugout, having 7 innings. That's a very reserved and respectful reaction from Clayton Kershaw. We've seen a lot worse around baseball. You just eat it. You eat the emotions for your team. His stomach is churning. He hates what he saw, but he's holding it together for the name on his chest, not the name on his back.
Garcia strikes out Upton. That ends the inning. But Clint Barmas hits his 2nd home run of the year off Kershaw. A costly error on a routine pop-up in the infield. Next batter, Derek Norris, a 2-run home run. And we go to the 8th. Padres lead for the first time. Three in the 7th for the Padres. They lead for the first time, but we look ahead at the Dodger calendar presented by 76. Back with you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock when Greinke and Ian Kennedy have at it. Sunday afternoon at 1, Bolsinger and James Shields. And then 2 games in Texas and 2 games back at Dodger Stadium on Wednesday and Thursday night against the Rangers. Howie Kendrick will lead it off against Dale Thayer. His 28th appearance. A solid year, 18 strikeouts, 8 walks in 26 and a third innings. Kendrick takes a strike and it's 0-1. Kendrick, Turner, and Ethier to bat. So we looked it up Adrian Gonzalez has been thrown out of a game 4 times in his career, second time as a Dodger. Kendrick tonight is 0 for 3. The Dodgers trail by 1. Dodger body language at the moment is not terrific. On the first pitch that Garcia threw to Will Myers, popped it up in the middle of the infield. Figure 1 pitch, inning over. That didn't quite work out that way.
We saw that when that went up. You saw everybody looking at each other. Nobody was really taking charge on that pop-up.
Into right field. Kemp can't get it. It rolls into the corner, and now Kendrick on his way to second base. The throw gets past Barmes, and now Kendrick will go to third. You take it. No, you take it. You take it. I'll take it.
First of all, great job by Howie Kendrick. He hits the ball down the line. He was thinking double. Kemp got to this ball and did a good job, but when he ran into the fence, he just kept going. And the other thing that helped out was the fact that you didn't have Upton over there kind of backing up second base. He was a little bit far there, so that allowed Howie, once that ball kicked away, to get to third.
It'll be a tough error for Matt Kemp because the ball collides into Howie, but Justin Upton was a spectator on the play, and he assumed the ball wasn't going to get away.
So the Dodgers get a break and have a chance to get right back in it. Turner 1 for 3. Pitch outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
And right now you have the infield back. As a hitter, you're just thinking, okay, Worth, just stay right up the middle, because this one would be huge to try to get the momentum back into that Dodger dugout.
Nobody out. 8th inning. And that's going to drop in for a base hit into center field. In to score is Kendrick. Turner delivers, and the Dodgers and Padres are tied at 3.
Last year, Justin Turner has been clutch, almost Mr. Automatic with a man in scoring position, especially a man on third and less than 2 outs. Gets the ball on the inner half of the plate, but does a great job getting inside it, driving it to the outfield, kept it short of Melvin Upton Jr. to get his base hit.
Turner 343 this year with runners in scoring position. Kendrick the double. Turner with his 24th run batted in. Dodgers stunned in the bottom of the 7th, quickly regroup in the top of the 8th. Ethier is 1 for 3. He takes a strike. It's 0-1.
I'm just so impressed with Justin Turner. Even with that big leg kick of his, he shortens up. He knows the situation there. So now he almost takes like a 2-strike approach when he doesn't have 2 strikes, because he knows, okay, I just have to stay up the middle, get the ball in the air to get that run in. And that's how he was able to stay inside that ball.
0-2 to Andre Ethier. Turner, when he was in New York, was a great clutch hitter. He was a terrific clutch hitter last year for the Dodgers. Hit .340 last season, best season of his career. Here he is hitting about .315 this year and about .350 with runners in scoring position. Ethier fights it off. Andre Ethier with 153 career home runs. 1 more, he ties Willie Davis for 9th all-time on the Los Angeles Dodger home run list. Has a hit in his last 7 games against the Padres. And takes high 1 and 2. Crowd of better than 39,000 here at Petco. Pretty near evenly divided between Dodger and Padre fans. Now the 1-2, Ethier into right field for a base hit. Turner will hold at second. So the Dodgers have something more brewing here in the 8th. 3 hits in a row. Jimmy Rollins coming up.
Well, Andre Ethier with 2 strikes does a good job staying on this ball. There was a sinker going away from him, and able to find that hole to right field.
Well, here comes Bud Black. And there goes Dale Thayer. Faced 3 batters, gave up 3 hits and a run. And we're going to take a break. Sean Kelly had been warming in the San Diego bullpen. We're tied at 3 in the top of the 8th. All-Star Game ballot now at Dodgers.com/vote. Voting is exclusively online this and available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Vote up to 35 times at Dodgers.com/vote. So here's Sean Kelly making his 18th appearance. He has struck out 23, walked 6 in 18 1/3. Dodgers gave up 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th. The Padres took the lead, albeit briefly. And now here is Rollins, squaring to bunt, takes high and away. And now the throw down to second base, and Turner has been thrown out.
Justin Turner has to realize his own capabilities, and I'm there. He's thinking about that on his way back to the bench, because I think he gets hung out to dry because he's out at his normal lead. But with the knee injury that's still healing but able to play, I don't think thinks he can get back. And you see him kind of get caught in between right there where the feet are tied up and he can't slide.
He was caught leaning. He thought he was going to bunt that ball. He was already anticipating that instead of waiting till the ball was on the ground.
Yep.
Dodgers are playing a very sloppy game today. Last couple of innings. So here's Rollins now with 1 out and 1 on. And Rollins with a fly ball to right. Drifting on back is Kemp. And he'll make the count. Now there's 2 out.
Can you feel the momentum just kind of shifting, going back and forth. Somebody trying to get this here. I mean, with the Dodgers, they had it right there. They had the Padres on their heels after they had just taken the lead and then tied it up, and then you make a base running mistake right there.
A.J. Ellis is 2 for 3. And we are tied at 3 in the top half of the 8th. Ellis is low and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. From the last pitch at the top of the 7th until the upcoming pitch here in the top of the 8th, this game has taken a decided turn for the weird. 2-0 to Ellis. Ellis 2 for 3 at 164. And that one is drilled down the left field line, but foul.
All of a sudden, AJ is swinging a confident bat. That ball dropped in front of Justin Upton that he pulled up on, where AJ got his first hit and his RBI to start this game off. A little different cat in the batter's box right now.
Ellis still looking for his first home run of the year. 3-1. Alex Guerrero is on deck. He will pinch hit. If Ellis can keep this inning alive. 3-2. Ellis not happy with Doug Eddings either.
Just nips the strike zone.
So Ethier will be off and running. That's ball 4. Diamondbacks are hitting in the top of the 9th in San Francisco and still leading the Giants 1-0. Chris Hatcher has gone to work in the Dodger bullpen. With Guerrero coming up to pinch hit. Three pinch hit home runs. Dodgers would be happy for a silly single. And a call strike, 0-1 to Guerrero.
He's come through in a big way in situations like this. He is not afraid of the moment.
But now he's behind 0-2. And he doesn't like it.
Nope.
There's momentums in games, and then there's momentum with umpires and your attitude towards borderline calls.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Alex Guerrero. Rick Honeycutt and a dejected Yimi Garcia.
Looks like he's talking about that pop fly.
Yep.
Getting out of the way.
Just get out of the way. Guerrero bloops one into short center field, and it drops in for a base hit. Ethier comes in to score. Throw to third, but not before Ethier scores the run. And the Dodgers take a 4-3 lead. Ethier has to keep running, and across the plate before the tag out at third. And Andre Ethier, running with 2 out, going all out on the bloop hit by Guerrero, is able to cross the plate before Upton is able to throw out Ellis at third.
Well, good job by Andre Ethier, not just assuming that he's going to have this easy. And I mean, he thought, I'm sure that there was possibility of a play, but hustling nonetheless and getting there before A.J. Ellis gets thrown out at third base. That would have been awful. That would have been awful if A.J. got tagged out before Andre, or even imagine Andre may have missed the bag and then had to go back or miss home plate and go back and tag it again.
No. Let's not bring up all the scenarios.
I'm just sorry. I mean, you saw that kind of coming, though. When you saw A.J. going, you're like, uh-oh. Please, Andre, get there. Get there.
And he did. What a bizarre game. Dodgers have reclaimed the lead 4-3. This game is not exactly a Michelangelo, but a 1-run lead.
And does it feel like this is going to, I mean, right now, the way it's going, it doesn't feel like, all right, they have this yet. You never know what's going to happen.
With Chris Hatcher on the hill. Good biting slider, and Kemp misses.
That's a nice little wrinkle right there. That's been the missing ingredient for Chris Hatcher. Everybody knows the big arm and the fastball that can reach 97, but he hasn't had an off-speed pitch to get the league off of him. Sometimes the split's attempted, sometimes the slider. But pretty much the league has backed him into his fastball, and he's not gotten ahead. In the outings where he's actually been effective, he's had 2 pitches. A fastball and one of the 2 off-speed pitches.
Kemp tonight 0 for 2, has been struck out twice, and he has walked. Dodgers 4-3. 1-2, beginning the bottom of the 8th. Fastball at 97, up and away. Matt Kemp at the moment is at 247. 10 walks and 60 strikeouts. Has 2 home runs on the year. That's the first down of the 8th. Blew a fastball by him, and Kemp struck out for the 3rd time tonight.
As I talked about Clayton Kershaw, as he's mixed more curveballs in, he gets away with some of the fastball mistakes. When he's locked in, he really dominates. And I'll tell you what, Chris Hatcher, because of the 2 sliders that he threw Matt Kemp, one good one, one decent one, makes you sometimes blink through that fastball down the middle.
Solarte has doubled, walked, and popped out. It takes inside and low, 1 ball and no strikes. The Dodger bullpen the last month to 6 weeks has been that Indiana Jones rickety bridge to the other side. Want to get to Kenley Jansen in the 9th.
And there's some Dodger fans thinking right now, well, Kenley Jansen's not a guarantee. Well, yeah, he's pretty much a guarantee. 9 innings pitched this year, only giving up a couple hits. Yes, 1 blown save in his last outing, but came back after the home run that he gave up. 3 up, 3 down inning. Right after that, came right back in the strike zone. He's been almost perfect other than the last outing.
Blew the save and got the win on the Kendrick base hit. 2 balls and 1 strike to Yangervis Solarte.
Kenley's strikeout percentage from last year is up. That's saying something because it was 13 some strikeouts per 9 innings, and now it's up to 15. His walk ratio is down. That was 2 or so every 9. It's below that this year.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Solarte got his money's worth.
Yeah, he did. I'll tell you what, the pitch before, Solarte seemed to see it really well out of Hatcher's hand. He took it with his weight back like he recognized it, and then you get that big swing there from him where he fouls it back just a little bit too high out of the zone. He couldn't get on top. But he looks like he's seeing the ball well off Hatcher right now after those last 2 pitches.
If he's going to throw him a slider or a split, he better bounce it. If he's going to throw him the fastball, I like another neck-high one.
Fastball down and away.
I like firm away. Keep him away from the right field bleachers. Keep the ball hard and away. Make him beat you to the middle of the field.
Hatcher in 17 innings has 17 strikeouts and 7 walks. Solarte making a nuisance of himself. Will Middlebrooks is on deck.
Solarte right now is thinking about tying this game with those swings that he's taking right now. Even with 2 strikes, it looked like he was just trying to put that one in play.
3-2 count, but mentally on the mound, you cannot throw something just to get a strike when a guy is swinging the bat this confidently. You've got to make a pitcher's pitch and risk the walk.
Popped up, short left. Ethier, 2 out. Now Will Middlebrooks. Hatcher, if he can get Middlebrooks, it's been a crisis of confidence as much as anything else for Chris Hatcher. If he can get out of this inning, as crazy as the last 2 innings have been, this would be a big step forward for him.
The staff and the front office have shown tremendous patience with Chris Hatcher. They really see a lot of upside here and keep giving him try after try. The opportunities are there for him, and he's got to take that confidence that they've shown in him and his abilities and start to produce. Because we're going to get to a point in the season where the roles are going to get really different if people aren't producing. And you're still trying to earn a job right now.
Middlebrooks went around. The count is 0-2. Middlebrooks 0 for 3 tonight. Couple of bounce outs and a strikeout.
1-run lead. 8th inning pitcher. 0-2 count, 2 out. These next two pitches cannot be strikes. They have to be close, make him chase.
Fastball up. Did he go around? 1-2. Told you at the beginning of the game that the Padres were second in the National League, having struck out 510 times. Only the young, free-swinging Cubs have struck out more. Dodger pitchers tonight have struck out 13 of the 23 outs. Middlebrooks has fanned once. We'll look to see another pitch.
Right now, Chris Hatcher's got a fastball in his hand that feels comfortable. The ball that has beat him in the early half of the season has been the split and the slider. If he throws it, he's got to bounce that one.
Which basically he tried to do.
Good. Yeah, that ball is down by the toes if it didn't get fouled off. That was a good pitch.
3 hours ago, if I told you that Chase Anderson was facing Madison Bumgarner in San Francisco, you like Bumgarner's chances.
For sure.
Diamondbacks 1-0.
It's over?
It's over. It's over.
That was right up there with Yimi Garcia. Get out of the way.
Now it's 2-2. So the Dodgers can. It may take the next week to 10 days to get through this game, but if they cross the finish line at some point and go 2.5 up on San Francisco if they can maintain the lead.
Fastball low and away right here. Oh, just missed.
Catcher's thinking to himself, what do I have to do?
Yeah, maybe.
Fastball low and away because you want him to beat you to the middle of the field. If you make the pitch, you're probably just going to get a ground out. The worst you're going to do is probably a base hit to right, maybe a double.
The 8th pitch of this at-bat is a base hit into left center field. So Middlebrooks wins the battle.
It's a microcosm, though, of Chris Hatcher's season so far. Just not able to execute a off-speed pitch to put somebody away. There's a slider and a 3-2 count, and it's just up, and it's too hard. So the batter has enough bat and swing left to get it out to the outfield. He's going to have to find something that is more consistent out of his hand that's off-speed.
Younger Alonso's going to pinch hit. Adam Libator, the lefty's been warming up in the Dodger bullpen. Alonso, of course, a left-handed hitter. And so as soon as Bud Black made his move, Don Mattingly is making his. 3.12 ERA. Opponents are hitting 177 against him. 18 strikeouts in 17 and a third. Lefty against lefty. Yonder Alonso to pinch hit.
Yonder Alonso not in there today because Clayton Kershaw was on the mound. The Padres went with an all right-handed hitting lineup, but he has been an impact player since he's been back with the Padres. Helped their offense tremendously.
Missed 23 games, bad right shoulder. He's been back for 10 days. And in 34 games against the Dodgers, he's hitting .292. So lefty against lefty. Libator and Alonso are in the bottom of the 8th in what had been a fairly routine game until the top half of the 7th. And then it's gone in every which way. Alonso and Grandal, for that matter, key components in the trade that sent Matt Latos from here to Cincinnati. Latos has since moved on. Alonso takes outside and low, 1 ball and no strikes. Middlebrooks has 2 stolen bases. Being held on by Justin Turner. Gonzalez thrown out of the game in the 7th. Grounded right to Turner. Foul ball.
Wasn't his call, though.
First base umpire Jim Wolf made the call, but the ball was received prior to the Turner getting it at first base. That's the home plate umpire's call, and that's what Mattingly's complaining about. It becomes the base umpire's call once the ball crosses first base. Clearly, Turner was in front of the bag. But Doug Eddings is not going to overrule his umpire. Well, let's see.
It's a tough one. It's a tough angle to see what that was going to be. That was fair or foul.
2-1. Jim Wolf, Randy's older brother. Justin Turner, Southern California boy, as the Wolves are. And there's the pride of Evansville, Indiana. 2 balls and a strike to Alonso. Fly ball, center field. Peterson going back. He's got room. He's there. He's got it, and the inning is over. No runs wanted. We'll go to the 9th. Dodgers nursing a precarious 4-3 lead.
We make our way to the top of the ninth inning. Sean Kelly on the hill for the Padres to handle the top of the ninth inning, depending upon what happens here. And in the bottom of the ninth inning, a couple of updates for you as far as the Padres bullpen is concerned. Of course, they have their closer in Craig Kimbrell. A couple of guys, however, are not available. Joaquin Benoit is not available, and either is Brandon Maurer, who neither one of those guys available because of the extra innings and use, guys.
So Jock Peterson leads off against Sean Kelly beginning his second inning, and it's a call strike, and it's 0-1. But Black made it clear before the game he was not going to toss out Benoit or Moore. So they've got to find a way to get to Kimbrell in the same fashion as the Dodgers have had to craft a way to get to Kenley Jansen. Peterson tonight 0 for 1 and a fly ball to center field. Will Myers, who began the game at first, is now in center. And inevitably, the guy who moves from one position to the next, the ball finds him first down. So Kenley getting ready. On a comfortably cool San Diego Friday night, 39,000, temperature in the mid-60s. And we'll be back again tomorrow. First pitch a little past 7. And it'll be Zach Greinke and Ian Kennedy. No balls, 1 strike to Yasiel Puig. 1 for 3 and a walk. The bullpen, which historically over the past decade or more has been among the best in baseball here in San Diego, not so much this year. Puig takes a strike, 0-2. Last year, the bullpen ERA for the Padres was 2.73, best in the league. This year, it's 3.57, 9th in the league. Bud Black has had to do a lot of mixing and matching.
And a lot of people around the Padres organization think that a lot of that trouble's not the arms in the bullpen, is the overuse because the starters aren't going very deep in the game.
Glenn Barmas, 2 out. Barmas will lead off for the Padres in the 9th, and a pinch hitter, and presumably Will Venable. And then Will Myers. Alberto Callaspo's first at bat. He came into the game at third base after Adrian Gonzalez was thrown out of the game in the 7th. And Turner, who started at third, moved over to first base. Four runs, 10 hits for the Dodgers. They've left 8. Padres 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, and they have left 7. A.J. Ellis and his pitching coach, Rick Honeycutt. 2-1 with Kendrick on deck. Callaspo fouls it back. So the Dodgers, knowing that the Giants have been shut out at AT&T by the Diamondbacks, can move 2.5 up on San Francisco and separate themselves by another game over the Padres to 6. So a big 9th inning. The 2-2. The Padres this year at 500, trailing the Dodgers by 5. They're at 500 for the 15th time this year. They've been right around the equator all year. They've never been more than 5 over, never been more than 4 under. 2-2. Callaspo drills it foul. The Marlins beat the Rockies 5-1. So that's what's going on in the West tonight. Two balls, two strikes, two outs. And Castro is down on strikes. Kelly retires the Dodgers in order. Now it's Kenley Jansen's turn. Jansen will be in search of his 8th save when we come back to the bottom of the ninth. Making his 10th appearance in search of his 8th save. The good news was on Wednesday night he got his first win of the year. The bad news was he blew his first save and gave up his first home run. That blew his ERA all the way up to 1.
Well, 9 innings pitched now, so he's pitched a complete game if he was a starter, and it's a pretty good complete game. 1 earned run, a couple hits.
15 strikeouts and no walks.
He's doing just okay. 44 saves last year, only 5 blown. 7 saves this year, only 1 blown. He'd like to make it 8-1 here tonight.
So here is Barmes, who hit a home run off Clayton Kershaw back in the 7th inning. It was his 2nd home run of the year, and the 2nd home run he had hit off Kershaw in his career. Will Venable on deck, and then Will Myers. So Barmes 2 for 3 tonight. Singled in his first at-bat, struck out, and then hit the home run. Dodgers nurse a 4-3 lead. And Jansen misses low and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Dodgers looking to go 11 over 500. Barmes takes a strike. And it's 1-1. The fastball at 89. That had a little more giddy up, 92, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Kenley has said one of the things he's working on this year is to come in out of the bullpen breathing fire, not having to ease into an outing, and especially in these 1-run games. Back-to-back nights Had the off day, the travel day, so it's just back-to-back games, but there was a day in between, so it's not like he's going to have fatigue out there. We've seen him at 96, 97, 98 miles an hour.
1-2 to Barmes. We begin the bottom of the ninth. Just missing.
That one looked like it had more movement than the other pitches right there. I mean, that one started off as a strike and just barely broke off the plate, cut off the plate.
Barmes came up with the Rockies in 2003. A career 246 hitter.
It's going to be a different vibe in each locker room tonight. If Dodgers pull this one out, Kenley closes it out. Dodgers, I think it'll be just a blip on the screen how ugly the game was, because coming off the sweep against Arizona, winning the last 5 out of 6 it'll be. They'll correct the mistakes, they'll talk about them, but they will move right on, and there will be happy faces and momentum of let's take it to the Padres the rest of the series. The Padres, on the other hand, it's not going to feel real good on their side.
Well, there are 3 outs between now and then. Now there are 2 outs between now and then. 16 strikeouts, no walks for Kenley Jansen this season. A third of the way home.
Coming cutter inside, Nomar, and that ball is tremendous movement.
I'll tell you, remember last year when Kenley actually had trouble going in? He always wanted to just live away on right-handers. Now you see the confidence right there, and that is just a perfect pitch.
Looked like a Mariano Rivera one. That late, that hard.
Now Will Venable. 1 ball and no strikes. The pride of Princeton, a 2-sport star there, basketball and baseball. He and Chris Young, 6'9" pitcher. They're both at Princeton. 2-sport stars. 2 balls, no strikes. Will Myers on deck. That had some movement.
He's got a good one tonight. This is a 2-0 fastball that he's got a good 6 inches of movement on it, but it's late. Watch how late it breaks. Oh. That is a cutter.
2-2. Venable, by the way, is 4 for 14 against Jansen. And Will Myers on deck has never seen him before. Kenley Jansen about to throw his 12th pitch. Jansen strikes out the first 2 hitters of the night.
Absolutely love the pitch selection, going away and hard, showing them that they can come in. They came in there and they're brave enough in a 2-0 count to make a great one. But look at the weak swing here. Everything is going to right field with Venable. The front hip, the shoulder, everything is bailing out, expecting the ball in. The ball's away, and he's just waving at it.
In 1-run games this year, the Dodgers are 8-10. The Padres are 7-9. And Will Myers is 0 for 4. He takes a strike, nothing in 1. It was Myers who popped it up. First pitch he saw from Yimi Garcia in the 7th inning. Right in the middle of the diamond. Garcia got in the way. Cayaspo from third base. Turner from first base converged. Ball dropped. Next pitch to Derek Norris, a 2-run home run, giving the Padres a temporary lead. Myers fouls it back, and it's 0-2. San Diego would score 3 in the bottom of the 7th to take a 3-2 lead. And then the Dodgers come back with 2 in the 8th. Ethier would score on a play at the plate after a pinch hit by Alex Guerrero. And now the Dodgers are 1 strike away from their 32nd win. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out. Just missing. 95.
We've had some wide ones called strikes, and we've had some strikes called balls.
Jansen understandably thought it was strike 3. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bottom of the 9th, Dodgers 4, Padres 3. Jansen to Myers. Base hit. Jansen thought he had strike 3. Myers given an extra pitch and singles into center.
So we've seen in this game a ball called strike and change a whole at bat with the bases loaded. And now we see the end of the game with a ball that should have ended the game. A strike called a ball, and the Padres still have life.
And Derek Norris, who homered in the 7th inning after the Garcia faux pas, now has a chance to win it for San Diego. It has been an interesting night, to be diplomatic, for home plate umpire Doug Eddings. Norris 0 for 2 against Jansen. Takes a strike, 0-1. If Andre Ethier got any deeper in left field, he'd be selling popcorn.
That's no doubles. No doubles at third base with Callaspo. No doubles with Turner at first. He'll hold the runner and stay close to the line, and no doubles in the outfield.
There's 2 out in the bottom of the 9th. Norris's home run, his 7th, has 39 runs batted in. He has driven in more runs than any other catcher in the major leagues this year.
Talked about the growth of Kenley Jansen pitching inside to righties. We've also seen him throw back-to-back breaking balls. And I wouldn't mind, because he's got an 0-1 count, if he wants to throw his first one just to make sure he bounces it. Just to get him off the fastball.
No balls and 2 strikes.
He has such a good cutter tonight, and he's confident in the fastball, and he hasn't thrown a slider. And it'd be really hard to throw one in the dirt and have the runner get up there to second base, be the tying run. I think he's going to stay with his cutter or just go up the ladder.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And there's your ball game. Kenley Jansen strikes out the side, gets Norris. The Dodgers breathe an enormous sigh of relief, improving their record to 36-25. Alex Guerrero with the big hit. That turned out to be the Lexus play of the game. With 2 out in the 8th inning, Guerrero pinch hitting, blooped one into center field. You just saw A.J. Ellis going to third, but hustling home and beating the throw to third.